Hermetics. Franz Bardon, the Magician. Lesson 4. The Earth Principle. Deep reading about the Earth Principle. Not an element proper, but for a different reason than air. Bardon opens the Earth chapter with the same declaration he made about air. It has been said of the air principle that it is not an element proper, and this assertion also applies to the principle of the Earth. But the reasoning is completely different, and the distinction matters enormously. Air is not a true element because it is relational. It exists between fire and water as their mediating principle. It inherits from both parents and has no fully independent existence. Earth is not a true element because it is derived. It emerged from the interaction of the first three elements and is therefore their product, not their peer. Fire, water, and air preceded Earth. Earth is what happened when all three acted on each other long enough to produce something stable. This places Earth in a unique cosmological position. It is the youngest element and the most complete. The youngest because it came last. The most complete because it contains all three that preceded it, compressed and locked into persistent form. Every grain of soil on this planet contains the electric fluid of fire, the magnetic fluid of water, and the equilibrating principle of air, all held together by Earth's own property of solidification. Fire said, "I expand." Water said, "I contract." Air said, "I balance." Earth said, "Then I will hold all three of you, so that what you create together does not dissolve back into potential." Earth is the principle that makes creation persist. Solidification. The single property that created the world. Bardon assigns Earth one defining property, solidification. Where fire has heat and expansion, water has cold and contraction, and air has warmth and moisture, Earth has solidification alone. But do not let this singularity mislead you. This is not simplicity. Solidification is the most consequential property in the entire cosmological sequence. To solidify means to give persistent, bounded, measurable form to what was previously only force and tendency. Fire is a force. Water is a tendency. Air is a dynamics. But a rock simply is. It does not move toward or away from anything. It does not tend. It exists and it persists in existing across time without requiring constant maintenance. This is what solidification does. It converts dynamic forces into static facts. The three prior elements are all, in a sense, events. Fire is an event of expansion. Water is an event of contraction. Air is the event of balance. Earth is what happens after the events settle into things. It is the noun at the end of the sentence that the other three elements were constructing as verbs. Consider the alchemical parallel. The philosopher's stone, the fixed, incorruptible substance produced by the great work, is an earth principle achievement. The entire alchemical process involves working with volatile substances, fire, water, air in their mercurial states, until they are fixed into a stable, permanent form. Bardon confirms this explicitly. The human body is a true athanor, in which the most perfect alchemical process, the great work, the preparation of the philosopher's stone, is visibly taking place. The body is earth performing its solidification function on the other three elements simultaneously. Space measures weight and time. Earth creates the dimensional framework. This is the most philosophically stunning sentence in the entire Earth chapter, and Bardon places it almost casually. A limit has been set to the action of the three elements, so that as a result space, measures, weight, and time have come into being. Earth did not enter a pre-existing space. Earth created space. Before solidification, the three elements operated as pure forces without fixed location, without boundary, without measurable duration. Fire expanded without limit. Water contracted without bottom. Air mediated without fixed position. There was no here or there, no this big or that heavy, no before or after, because none of those distinctions can exist without something fixed from which to measure them. Earth's solidification was the creation of the coordinate system of existence itself. Space requires boundaries. Weight requires something that stays in one place long enough to be measured. Measure requires a standard that does not change. Time requires a sequence of events that persist in memory as before and after. Every one of these is a consequence of solidification. When Earth appeared, for the first time in the cosmological sequence, something stayed put long enough to be counted, weighed, and placed. The Kabbalistic confirmation, the letter I, pronounced as E in English, in the mental realm dominates the analogy laws between microcosm and macrocosm, complete dominion over measure, number, and weight. Measure, number, weight are the three languages in which the Earth principle speaks. And the letter A, the Earth letter in the Akashic principle, pronounced as German umlaut, when mastered Kabbalistically, gives the adept power over everything that has form, measure, number, and weight, which is to say, everything in the gross material world. To master the Earth principle is to master the entire dimensional framework of physical reality. Note, Bardon makes it clear that sound is important, so when you pronounce A as first sound in a word alpha, it sounds correctly. It does not sound like EJ or hey something. Learn German alphabet and you'll get it. Another example is letter B. It does not sound like B. It sounds like first sound in a word book. Learn Bardon's alphabet if you want to become magician. LOL. The four-pole magnet. Earth as the complete element. Bardon makes a claim about Earth that he makes about no other single element. The mutual action of the three elements, together with that of the Earth, has become four-pole, so that the Earth principle can be described as a four-pole magnet. The fluid of Earth is not electric, not magnetic, but electromagnetic, both simultaneously. This is because Earth contains all three prior elements within itself. Element within Earth. What it contributes. Fluid. Fire within Earth. The animating, expansive, active principle, the electric center. Electric core. Water within Earth. The cohesive, attracting, contracting principle holds matter together. Magnetic surface. Air within Earth. The regulating, balancing principle, equilibrium of the other two. Neutral mediator. Earth itself. Solidification, the property that locks all three into persistent form. Electromagnetic total. This structure produces the famous Hermetic truth, as above, so below, and the reason it is true is precisely because Earth, in containing all four poles, mirrors the complete structure of the Akashic source from which everything arose. Akasha is undifferentiated totality. Earth is differentiated totality, all the same elements, but now separated into distinct poles, measurable, workable, subject to influence. The physical geography of our planet demonstrates this directly. The electric fluid resides at the center of the Earth, the core, incandescent, expanding outward in all directions. The magnetic fluid resides at the surface holding everything down, attracting material objects to the planet, producing what we experience as gravity. The planet Earth is not merely made of the Earth element. It is a physical demonstration of the four-pole magnet principle at a scale the uninitiated cannot ignore. Every compass on this planet is responding to the Hermetic reality that Bardon is describing in this chapter. And wait, that most mundane of physical facts is revealed as something extraordinary. Bardon defines it precisely. Weight is the attraction of electron oscillations, the electric fluid emanations of each object, by the general magnetic fluid of the Earth's surface. Gravity is not a property of matter. It is a relationship between electric and magnetic fluids. The falling apple did not reveal a law of nature to Newton. It revealed the magnetic fluid of the Earth responding to the electric fluid of the apple. The formula is Hermetic, not Newtonian. Fiat or let it be. The most consequential word in the cosmological sequence. Each element in Bardon's sequence carries a cosmological declaration. Fire carried fiat lux, or let there be light, the first outward movement. But earth carries something even more final. Fiat alone, let it be. Not let there be something new. Simply, let what has been created be. Let it remain. This is the cosmological moment of sealing. Fire initiated. Water received. Air mediated. Earth sealed. The three dynamic forces that had been flowing, oscillating, and adjusting were fixed into a form that could endure across time. Fiat is not a new creation. It is the ratification of creation. The moment the universe stopped being only process and became also thing. The scriptural parallel is precise. God speaks creation into existence through a sequence of fiat lux moments. Let there be light. Let there be water. Let there be earth. And then, at the end, and it was so. That final, and it was so, is the earth principle. The moment when what was commanded became stably real, not just momentarily real. The and it was so is what makes everything before it matter. Without earth, creation would be an eternal improvisation, never landing, never settling, never becoming the world. For the magician, fiat, Latin word meaning let it be, is the most practically powerful concept in this chapter. Every working of will, fire, every impregnation of desire into a medium, water, every precise formulation of intention, air, must be sealed into the earth principle to manifest physically. The adept who has mastered the other three elements but neglects earth produces beautiful inner experiences and no material results. Earth is what makes magic physical. The fiat is the moment the magician stops projecting and lets the result be. Both flourishing and aging. Earth's two poles. Bardon identifies the two poles of earth in the body with startling directness. In the active form of the earth element principle, it has an invigorating, strengthening, building, preserving effect, and in the negative form it works vice versa. Both the flourishing and the aging of the body are subject to the earth principle. The positive pole of earth in the body is anabolic, building tissue, strengthening bone, preserving form. The negative pole is catabolic, breakdown, deterioration, the slow yielding of structure to entropy. Both are earth. Growth and aging are the same principle expressing its two faces across a lifetime. And here, Bardon makes perhaps the most important statement about death in the entire book. The concept of death does not mean a disintegration into nothingness, but what is regarded as annihilation or death is only a transition from one stage to the other. The negative pole of earth is not annihilation. That would require something to vanish from existence entirely. But earth's property is solidification, persistence of form. Even the dissolution of form is itself a process that follows laws, a transition, not a termination. The atoms of the body do not cease to exist at death. They reorganize into other forms. The earth principle persists even through what appears to be the defeat of the earth principle. This is the deepest paradox of the element. Its negative pole does not destroy Earth's essential quality. It transforms it into a new configuration of the same fundamental solidified reality. For the initiate, this resolves what most people experience as the primary existential terror. Death is not the end of the earth principle in you. It is the earth principle releasing one configuration and permitting another. The body returns to soil. The soul continues in a different density. The spirit was never subject to earth in the first place. What the uninitiated call death is the earth element doing precisely what it was always designed to do, transform one stable form into the conditions for the next. 7. Earth in the spirit, consciousness as the magical organ of earth. Element. Quality of spirit. Sense. Sign of imbalance. Fire. Will. Eyes. Strong will, brittle intellect, burns through things. Air. Intellect. Ears. Analyzes endlessly, decides nothing. Water. Feeling life. Sensation. Absorbed by emotion, no structure. Earth, consciousness. Taste and smell. Slow thoughts, melancholy, heavy memory. Akasha, conscience. All together. Disconnected from inner moral knowing. Earth equals consciousness. Taste and smell equals the earth senses. And the sign of earth imbalance in the spirit, slow thoughts, melancholy, memory that weighs rather than informs. Consciousness in Bardon's sense is not awareness in general as that belongs to Akasha. Consciousness is the faculty that registers experience as stable, available knowing. It is what makes a thought or perception stay accessible after the moment of its arising. Memory is earth applied to mental experience as the solidification of what was a momentary event into something that persists, can be returned to, referenced, built upon. This is why taste and smell are the earth senses. They are the most physically grounding of all perceptions, the most difficult to imagine in the abstract. You cannot truly imagine a smell the way you can imagine a sound or a color. Smell is irreducibly material, requiring actual molecules to reach actual receptors. Smell is earth refusing to be abstracted away. It insists on the physical reality of the present moment. The magician with excess earth in the spirit, heavy memory, melancholic tendencies, thoughts that arrive slowly but last long. Deeply reliable, poor at improvisation. The development path is to cultivate fire, will through optical exercises, and air, intellect through acoustic exercises, to bring lightness to what has become too dense. The magician with insufficient earth, brilliant, creative, emotionally alive, but nothing sticks. Ideas flash and vanish. Intentions form and dissolve. Will initiates projects that never complete. The development path is to work with consciousness exercises, deliberate, sustained registration of experience as real, holding a single thought present without letting it dissolve, until the earth quality of the mind strengthens. The Kabbalistic key. A-I-F-R, earth across all four planes. Bardon's key to the true Kabbalah reveals the earth principle's letter formula across all planes. Letter A, earth in the Akashic principle, the all-pervading law of solidification. Mastery of this letter gives dominion over everything with form, measure, number, and weight, or the complete dimensional framework of gross material existence. Letter I, earth in the mental realm, the laws of analogy between microcosm and macrocosm, complete understanding of how what is above is also below, and how measure, number, and weight operate as universal constants across all planes. Letter F, earth in the astral realm, the astral matrix or the life principle, the link between physical body and soul. Mastery includes the ability to restore breath to a physically dead body by rebinding the astral matrix. Letter R, earth in matter, intellectual knowledge, earthly experience, the integration of knowing into practical application in the physical world. The astral letter F carries one of the most extraordinary claims in the entire Kate Q. A quabbalist who has mastered this letter vibration can cause an already dead body to breathe again by banishing the astral matrix back to the body and reuniting body and soul. This is the magical mechanics of resurrection, not miracle, but precise knowledge of how the earth principle holds the astral matrix to the physical body, and therefore how to reassert that bond after it has been broken. The F vibration is the Hermetic key to what all traditions call the mystery of life and death. The core synthesis. Level. Earth manifests as Akasha, the causal principle of solidification, the divine decision that form shall persist. Mental. Consciousness, the faculty that holds and registers all experience as stable knowing. Astral. The phlegmatic temperament, memory, endurance, reliability, the capacity to hold. Etheric. The physical body's bones, flesh, organs, the total structural container of life. Physical. Gravity, weight, cohesion, density, space, measure, time, the dimensional framework. Universal. The four-pole magnet, electromagnetic fluid holding all three prior elements in form. The deepest thing Bardon points to through the Earth chapter completes the entire cosmological arc of the four elements. Fire said, "I will move." And the universe began. Water said, "I will receive." And form became possible. Air said, "I will balance." And life became motion. Earth said, "I will hold." And the world became real. Akasha is the infinite silence from which all four emerged. Each element is a successive answer to the question, how do we get from pure potential to actual, persistent, lived reality? Fire begins the movement. Water gives it direction. Air gives it equilibrium. Earth gives it a place to land. The magician who has mastered all four elements has not merely acquired four powers. He has reconstructed, within himself, the complete cosmological sequence through which Akasha became the world. He has become, in miniature, the workshop of creation. When he works the fiat, when he seals his working into the earth principle with the absolute conviction that it is so, he is not commanding the universe. He is completing the pattern that the universe already follows. And the universe, recognizing its own pattern, responds. This is the secret of the Tetragrammaton Yudchvhe which the initiates of all ages have kept. The four letters are the four elements, and the four elements are the complete grammar of creation. The magician who speaks that grammar fluently does not perform miracles. He performs grammar. And to those who do not know the language, grammar looks like a miracle.